Sanchez Amor, you have the floor. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Presidenta. Ya lo ha expresado usted.
Thank you very much, President.
Thank you very much. As has been said, the consequences, we have been delayed with this. Obviously, now we had a rapporteurship without a rapporteur, but now we have achieved this. Now, I've tried to be as objective as possible, understanding the ambience in the Parliament, and I don't add any personal agenda. Now, as the Chair has said, there's been a whole range of reports on Turkey, very critical content. The most recent one from Kati Piri, I'd like to thank her for her support on this. Now, the most recent report asked for a formal suspension of negotiations. Well, what's happened since then, in March the 19th? Well, the situation has continued to deteriorate. I said, for the past 18 months, I've not received any good news on Turkey, and this is the spirit we have in the Parliament. This means that Turkey has repeatedly been put back on the Parliament's agenda. We're not obsessed with Turkey, but there's just time after time, week after week, there's more points that need to be discussed. I think the main challenge for us in foreign policy is Turkey. We have been drawing up resolutions and reports in an uncoordinated manner, but I think really that's where the majority of this comes from. My report also builds on all the debates which have taken place over recent months. This can't just be one more report where we just criticise Turkey again and turn the page. This is the time when we need to reflect on the framework of our relationship with Turkey. We can't describe a relationship with Turkey in just 5 pages. So the shadows and the chair have a longer version of this report, which goes into more detail and explains the context. And hopefully with the shadows we can find a way to work together. Turkey is a candidate country, and if a candidate country means they have to align themselves with EU policies and interests. And what we've seen over the past few years is the exact opposite. Turkey, in freedoms, presidentialism and centralism, nationalism, anti-Europe view, and aggression. And these are the key points, I think, that we've seen. And this trajectory of conflict against the EU is something which is deliberate. It's not that there's been one point that we disagree on a certain point. This has been a deliberate trend, and it's brought us to this situation now. And now we need to look at if we can continue with the relationship that we have with Turkey for the time now. No European incentive can force Turkey to be a democracy. Turkey needs to decide that if they want it for itself and then maintain its candidacy. But we can't drag Turkey into a democracy. So our draft asked for the formal suspension of the accession process. This is not just a retribution for poor behaviour. We need to sit down and rethink the entirety of our relationship with Turkey. Turkey will always be a neighbour. However, we need to think about whether the framework of relationships that we have with Turkey work or not. Those who are in prison in Turkey for defending their rights are the Democrats. The best way that we can influence on this is via the accession process. Now, even though it isn't working, now if there is no accession process, then we are leaving many people in prison, or many people in society in Turkey without protection. The heart of the problem is this: the rule of law and fundamental rights in Turkey. Now, the report is very critical. It's critical not because we have a prejudice against Turkey, but the information we receive from Turkey is very worrying. We're not just writing this report and being harsh because we want to, but we have to be realistic. Now, this report will either be completely ignored by Turkey or be used to continue building in EU, anti-EU rhetoric. And a couple of final points, Chair. The European Parliament cannot abdicate its role as being the guardian of European values. Now, why do I say that? Because other European institutions are saying there's a positive agenda with Turkey, and when the democratic conditionality seems to have disappeared. The Council said that they could have negotiations on the customs unions without any democratic conditionality. Our report says that any type of negotiation along this line needs to have democratic conditionality. But also there's differences between European institutions. We need to have one single policy for our relationships with Turkey. There can't be a transactional relationship in the Council, for example, and we in the Parliament doing as we rightly are doing, that Turkey needs to align itself with the principles and values that we have. So as saying, this is a critical report. The Council is relating with Turkey as though it weren't a candidate country, and the Parliament is doing it as though it is only a candidate country. And this is creating problems, and it's mentioned this. And now it's a very frank report. To thank you for Inde for being here, and thank you to the shadows as well. And I'd just say once again, I'm available to work with all the shadows so that we can do what we need to do, which is to ask the EU, the entirety of the EU, to rethink and really reflect on the framework of our relationships with